In this video, we're going to review how to write this type of question where there's a figures inserted. As you can see, it's not white background, it's kind of embedded into that, so-called the transparent background. In that case, I think you have to upload the picture. That's one thing we're going to review. Second thing is this numerical answer requiring certain decimal places. So it is the question is asking to enter down to a correct 4 decimal place. So those are the two things we're going to review. So here's a question again. If it is real standard shape, such as cone or some of the typical shape that was introduced in the calculus series course, you can always Google it, and sometimes you can find a very good picture that is available in Google image. So here I typed in parallelepiped into the Google search, and if you look at it there's always this images option. So if you click on that, it's not going to just show all the links that has parallelepiped. It look for all the images or where images that is embedded into some website. So especially we're looking for transparent background. Sometimes you can see it, sometimes not. So I looked at it already and click on a bunch of things, so I know this one works. So if you click on that, you can see there is this weird background there with a check mark, like a checkerboard. That's usually indication it's a transparent background. Then you can right click and save that image as, not copy image, save image as, and then it's going to download the original file that is in the transparent background, and that's what we're going to upload. But if you don't find it, if you don't find a good picture, then you have to go ahead and generate that picture on your own. I often use this Inkscape. It has far more control and various different tools, but you can also use Google Drawing. If you go to Google Suite package there, apps, and then you can find Google Drawing. There you can create transparent background as well. So here I use Inkscape to generate a picture with a transparent background. Now when the transparent background figure is ready, we are going to upload this picture into this question writing system, and that is found in the bottom row there. Go to the bottom, you can see image file, and you click on that choose file button, and you can upload that figure, which is what I'm going to do. Now that file is uploaded, next thing you have to do is that you assign a variable to that. I always use this $fig, just like formulas and numbers. You can call these picture using this variable. So I'll go ahead and choose this one, but you can type $fig1 or something like that. So then in the question area here, you can call that picture to be like this, and then it's going to bring in that picture into the question area with this background transparent. Now I hit this quick save and preview, and this is what I got. Picture with nothing else we have typed in. As you can see, it is transparent background. Maybe you feel that this is too big, but it can be resized within this MyOpenMath. That's the first thing we're going to do. So this is the command. In the first line of this common control area, we're going to call that $fig, that was the original image, and resize is the width into 250 pixel. That's what it means. And the command is change image size. Once you change the image size, we're going to call this something different, the $fig1. I haven't tried $fig1 again to kind of redefine it. I'm not sure it's a good idea, but I'm just going to use this different name. Now if you go down there and use this fig1, and then it's supposed to give you a picture that is slightly smaller. ahead and see. So you can see that's smaller than before. So now you can use this resize the picture in your question area, and that's one way to do it. Again, if it is not transparent background, you can just toggle this editor and copy and paste your picture directly into that. You can resize it using the corner. There's a little box in the corner. You can resize it. That's quite convenient. You don't have to go through this procedure. But if it's transparent background, it seems like this is the way to embed your picture into the question area. So here's a full question again. I'm going to show you how to typeset all that, but number goes in there, and you're going to upload work toward to that work. So it's a two-part, so we have to choose multiple parts for that one. So you go to this area, rather than number, go down there, choose multiple part. And you have to declare answer types. For the first one, it's going to be calculated numbers, and the second one will be, file upload. So here it is, answer type is going to be calculated. The first one is going to be a number, and the second one will be uploading files. And this is a new part. And for the first part, again, the index for the first question is 0. So for that 0th question, the first question, required decimals with S is going to be 2. Even though this is a trick I usually use, I ask the student to go all the way down to 4 decimal places, but I actually require 2 decimal places. So that's when the student entered, a third digit wrong, it is still taken care of. It's this very nice trick that helps everybody. So this is usually how I do. 2 decimal places, but I write 4 decimal is required in the question part. And then I entered answers like this down to 4 decimal places, 20.0675, and that's my answer. And answer weights, 30% if you get just those number correct, and 70% is going to the student work. So that's how I set up. And again, if it is a multiple number part, and you can use array to change that decimal part. This is not just individually doing this one. So let me go ahead and write that down and delete. If this has a multiple numerical answer part, and then you can go and write required decimals, all of them down to 2. Then all the numerical answer part will have a 2 decimal digit requirement. There are more options for handling this numerical accuracy, but this really makes everything convenient. So ask for 4 decimal, and you actually check 2 decimal up to the 2 decimal part. So we're back to this full version again, and I'm going to typeset these complex expressions again, like I did in an early video, rather than type this one directly into the question area. I'm going to call that one some function and that one some function, and define a different variable and call those individual variables. Let's say is $P and $Q and $R, and then call it into this using that name. You can call that in the question area. That's a good idea. And the rest of the part was straightforward, and here's some outward oriented surface, and there are 2 corner points of this rectangular box, and they're asked to calculate the surface integral against this outward oriented surface and going up. So let's see, let's look at the code. All right, here, I'm going to get rid of that little butt face there. This is the vector field, and that I define in the control area, all those things. And the points, here's something that I need to explain. This point 1 is not a single number, it's a list of number, which is different from array of number. List is particularly useful when you have to write down numbers separated by commas. I'm going to show you. So that was also prepared in the question control area, common control area up there, the same thing. Rest of the part, it's something that we have discussed already. Answer box for numerical part, upload button in there. So here's the preparation toward writing the question part with this variable, not typesetting everything into there. So all those input is summarized into $Q list, and you will see why I do it this way. But later, you can just do this individually. $P is the first one, and $Q is the second one, and things like that. But this is kind of input string that's coming from the system, so I wrote it this way. So the first one is a function. This, if something starts with a quotation mark and with a comma separated ends with a quotation mark, it automatically considers as a list, which is different from array. So I have written down this string, where my cursor is. The first string starts ended there, so that's going to be one string or mathematical expression. Here's a second one in the list, second one there, and here's a third expression. Those are the three function P, Q, R. And the next three numbers are the 0.1, and next three numbers are 0.2. So all these things, individual function and numbers, coming into a string, and you can call that. So again, because it starts with the dollar quotation mark and ends with a quotation mark, it's going to take this one as a list, and here I'm taking that Q list and changing into array. And once you switch to array, you can assign those individual entries of array like this in one line rather than writing in separate line. But again, the whole purpose of doing things like this was not to get confused with these, all those they're written in one line. So I apologize, I should have done it a different way. But if you want to see it clearly, you can just put this symbol. I forgot the name of the symbol, but it allows you to continue typing in the next line, not continuing in one line. So it's a little less confusing. So I can use a tab and put that dollar symbol there. Tap again, and then it recognizes this as a single line, and you can separate these two as a point as well. So let me go and do that. Dollar there, and dollar there. That works. So that's a list with a P and Q and R, and the first point and second points, those are the list. So I change that list to array and assign to all these 9 variables. First 3 are functions. So capital F, the $F was the vector field. So I'm defining the vector field. I'm displaying the vector field like this with a P part, vector multiplied, Q part, vector J multiplied, R multiplied to vector K. And the points one here, I'm again defining this one as a list. If you put those 3 numbers, put a quotation, it understands it as a list, and you can display these numbers separated comma at one time, not keep writing A1 and B1 and C1. So overall, I find that it's a convenient way of handling points, 2-dimensional points and 3-dimensional pointers, whatever. So those are defined there, 0.1 and 0.2. So in the question area, all you have to do is call that list, put the parentheses around, it's going to display as a list in there. So that's that. Let's see if that's going to do it. All right, this is what I got. It looks just like that, and here's a numerical answer. And let me go ahead and take a look at the answers at 20.0675. But even though I require 4 decimal, like I said, in the system, it actually required 2 decimal. So let's say I typed in here 20.065. For some reason, I got that third digit incorrect. But if I still hit submit, it recognizes it as a correct answer. Right, so that was it. That's how you embed transparent background image into the system, and that's how you handle decimal accuracy.